because I had convinced myself that I had made the decision to change, but I didn't have the mental strength or the discipline to have actually flipped that switch and actually acted on that decision. Because there's a big difference between making the decision to change and having that switch flip than convincing yourself that you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's huge.
You just gotta figure out how to flip that switch.
You know who made it.
Welcome back to the Wealth AZ Show, where we talk all things wealth, health, and real estate. Today, folks, I have a real special guest for you. My guest today started his weight loss journey at 660 pounds. He has lost over 170 pounds. The guy's down to 490 pounds. I've been following his journey on Instagram. He's been motivating me. And I wanted to have him on the show to share his story and his journey with my listeners. Please welcome to the show, Ethan Benard. Ethan, thank you so much for being on the show. Tell us a little bit of a 2-minute bio on yourself and where you're located.
Yeah, man. So my name's Ethan Benard. I grew up just right off the gate. I was super overweight my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always just been kind of like a part of my life, right? So I grew up in a small town in West Michigan, went to a private Christian school, had actually, despite my weight, a really, really enjoyable childhood.
Okay.
So that was good. I don't have like a ton of like past trauma or anything, other than just being this size my whole life.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So when I graduated high school, I started going to college for like computer science just because I was very like logically minded. I was like, all right, this is what I can go into to make like a crap ton of money. And I was good at it. I did IT for a while, but almost like 6 to 9 months into those classes, man, I was just like, this is so boring. So I literally, in 2018, I dropped out of college. I quit my retail job and I started a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I did full-time YouTube for about 6 months before realizing that I liked live broadcasting more. So then I rented an office in my small town and I actually live streamed full-time for over 3 years.
And what would you talk about?
So I actually was in kind of like the gaming space.
Okay.
So I was literally just like a fat guy sitting there playing video games on camera.
Oh, my son would have loved your show. I have a 14-year-old.
It was actually really fun, man. And it got quite large. Like it was a very successful channel and it was fun. But in 2021, and I know this intro is kind of long, I'm sorry, but
it's okay.
This.
Yeah.
In 2021, at the peak of my success in that world, I had over 1,200 live viewers on Twitch, which is a lot for a fat guy sitting down playing video games.
Okay.
1,200 people watching at once. It's crazy. I was making decent money. I was making like $6,000 a month.
Wow.
Just sitting on my ass playing games, dude.
Having
a
fun.
good time. And I wasn't even like doing it well. Like I didn't have sponsors. I didn't have merch. That was just from like doing it.
What kind of games were you playing?
A lot of shooters. I was pretty competitive. That's the thing with my stream. I try to focus on like the entertainment value and the interaction, but also play good. Because a lot of streams will either just try to be stupid and funny, or they'll just try to be good at the game and they won't care about what they talk about.
Okay.
So I tried to manage that balance. I think it worked pretty well. But right when I hit that peak of success, I got partnered on Twitch. I was like super like fulfilled professionally for the first time in my life. I got hit with COVID. Hard.
Okay.
Like my body actually got COVID and a bacterial pneumonia at the same time. And I spent 60 days in the hospital.
Wow.
So right when I got to that peak and I was like on top of the world professionally and I had just started caring about my weight at that point, and then that happened and I spent like around 10 days on a ventilator, 3 weeks in the ICU, 5 weeks in a rehab hospital, and I came out wrecked. You know, physically, emotionally, financially, because everything was gone, right? Like you go from I was live like 60, 70 hours a week.
Wow,
I
that's a
was
lot.
literally streaming like 10 hours a day. So I went from being there live every day, people knowing that I was going to show up, to just dropping off the face of the planet for 2 months.
Okay.
So 90% of what I had built over that past few years was literally just swept out from under me just with that hospitalization. But then, just with everything that I had gone through in the hospital, I came back and I wasn't the same person. You know, I was so like angry and bitter, and I was in so much pain that I just wasn't myself, you know, or at least I wasn't the man that I was before the hospital. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then I inadvertently, biggest mistake I made after the hospital, by the way, was trying to return to broadcasting, because I came back and I was just like so depressed. I don't even want to know what I was, you know what I mean? Like it was probably rough to watch,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I inadvertently, the people who did stick around, I probably drove them away, you know?
Yeah.
So I spent the last 4 years since the hospital just kind of in that space of like not even knowing why God kept me alive, because it was just like, I had given everything I had. You know, I was making little to nothing when I started. I built that business from the ground up and everything got ripped away, you know? And I, until this year, didn't have the mental capacity not to backslide on the weight loss stuff. So in between 2021 and now, I've actually lost 100 pounds like 3, 4 separate times. But the first 3 times in between 2021 and 2024, I gained it back every single time. As soon as something bad happened, I didn't have the discipline or the mental strength to not let it affect me to the point where I wouldn't just mess up again.
Do you call that emotional eating?
I don't know. I don't know what you would call it, to be
See,
honest.
yeah, and just to go back to your point when you said, "I don't know why God kept me alive." I know why, because you have a bigger purpose.
Oh, for sure.
And watching you, by the way, for my listeners, I discovered Ethan on Instagram, and sometimes people just pop up in your feed, and I don't know why you popped up in my feed, but you did. And I started watching you, and then I jumped into your profile. I was looking at all your videos. I'm like, damn, this guy's really on a journey. And I love watching people who are actually taking responsibility for maybe what their past life has done, and they're actually trying to make a change. And I love watching people. So I started following you, and I've been watching your journey every day. But the eating, I remember being 8 years old and my father leaving, and I turned to emotional eating, and I started I would eat because I was depressed, and then got to a point where I was 15 years old and I was 250 pounds, and my pant size was a 44 waist. So I know what got my weight there, and I know what triggered me to make a change. What I'd like to know from you is, during your childhood, you're watching your weight going up. You hit 200 and 300 and
Oh, I
400.
wasn't watching it at all. It was just happening.
Was there ever a point that you watch it happen, or maybe you look in a mirror and you got to realize something's going on because your clothes are getting tighter and you have to keep buying larger and larger? Was there ever a time in your life saying, I'm getting too heavy and I need to make a change? Was there ever that point in your life you maybe thought that?
It's really weird, man, because not really. Like, I always knew I was really, really big.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
you're
was
a big guy.
200
You're
pounds.
6'5", right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big guy.
I was 200 pounds by the age of 9.
Oh, jeez.
So
but you're very tall, too.
I've always been ginormous. So I never really, during my childhood and even my earlier teen years, I never really, like, I don't know how to describe it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I never really thought about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of what I was used to.
I remember
know?
I got bullied in school. I got bullied because of my weight. Did you get bullied in school and made fun of?
Not really.
Hmm.
No, because
You're one of the lucky ones, I guess.
well, I'm not trying to sound pretentious, but I feel like I went to a private Christian school for elementary school.
Okay.
And then I think by the time I got to middle school and high school, I did some online schooling, but even when I was in person, I was kind of like, looking back at it, I was kind of like the asshole who was like kind of like the teacher's pet type of guy.
Okay.
Like I worked really hard in school. I had like a 4.0. Like I was pretty locked into like the actual learning and stuff. So I feel like this is probably the most pretentious thing you'll ever hear me say about myself, but I feel like my like intelligence and my height, like my size and my intelligence kind of made it so people didn't really mess with me.
Okay.
Like I wasn't like a jerk or anything, but I feel like I did kind of lean into that like being the smart kid thing just to probably like to compensate. I don't know.
Okay.
But I was very flashy about the fact that I was doing well and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think people mess with me probably just because of my size and that, you know.
Did you just find growing up you would just eat a lot? Like what contributed to it?
Oh
Like,
yeah, it was just boredom, dude. 100%.
Okay.
I'm an only child.
Okay.
I only saw my best friend once a week at church, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sit at home, play video games, and eat, you know, because that was the worst part about online schooling, bro. Is I did that for a few years. It was I could get all my schoolwork done by noon, you know, and then I would have 12 hours to do whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Eat, play video games, whatever, dude. Like I wasn't gonna go outside and take a walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's just not something I would have been interested in.
Hey everyone, it's John. I just wanted to thank you for being here, and I would ask that you please subscribe to the show by just clicking the subscribe button right here. I'd really appreciate it. It helps grow the show so we can get even more successful guests on the program to help you. If you're already subscribed, a huge thank you. When you subscribe, you're going to get access to the program before anybody else does. So if you would, just click subscribe right here. Thanks so much, and welcome back to the Wealth Easy Show. What I'd like to know is what was the it thing for you that said, I'm going to make a change. I'm too big. My health, I'm sure at 660 pounds, your health is not good. You may have trouble, I'm sure you had trouble breathing or walking up a flight of stairs. What was that it? Like I remember mine.
I have a couple of them.
Yeah, mine was grade 9. Mine was grade 9. And I was fed up with being bullied and mocked, going to school dances and no girl wants to dance with you, and I just hated it. And I remember one day cutting class and going for a walk downtown Toronto and finding a new gym that had just opened up, and this massive bodybuilder sitting in front signing people up, and I was just amazed at the size of this guy. And I joined the gym like, I want to make a change. I want to do something different. I joined the gym, and that's when I started reading magazines and reading books and reading about nutrition and asking people in the gym on working out. And then, you know, at 15 years old, that's where I know that was the it for me. And then by 23, I did my first bodybuilding competition, and I competed through my 20s, and you know, I'm 54 now, and I still train 4 days a week. That was my it. What was your it that said, I need to make a change?
Yeah, there was a couple of them, man. In 2020, when I started popping off on the broadcasting stuff, I kind of started enjoying life for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be kind of complex, but at that point, I realized that I actually wanted to live, you know?
Yep.
Because for years, I couldn't care less what happened. Like, that was just the reality of it. I hated myself so much. I didn't take care of myself. I couldn't have cared less if I lived or died. That was my mindset probably through my entire teenage years up until I was like 20, 21, right? And I know that's like, it sounds messed up, but it is what it is, right?
No, I
So
appreciate your honesty.
in 2020 for the first time, I was like, "Oh shit, maybe I do want to live." And then I'm like, "Well, if I'm going to live, I might as well make it a life worth living." Right?
Hmm.
Because it's not worth living whole life at 600 plus pounds. It's just not. It's disgusting. Like once you've experienced what it's like to be this fat, you want to be the furthest thing from it.
Right.
That's why I tell everyone that like getting the weight off is not my goal. I want to be like the opposite of what I was. I don't want to just freaking lose the weight and have a bunch of flabby skin and get the skin removed. Right? Like I want to go like to the complete other end of things as far as I can without being an idiot. Right?
Mhm.
Like without starting to use enhancers and like freaking put yourself on a bunch of shit to grow crazy muscles or whatever, right? Like I want to get as furthest as possible away from where I was naturally.
And what's that
So,
goal for you? What does that look like for you?
I'm not sure yet because I have a very large frame. Like I'm 6'5" and I have very wide shoulders.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I continue. I've started strength training way too early, but I'm kind of locked into it now. You know, like
Mhm.
I'm actually enjoying it for better or for worse. I think I probably could have lost weight faster if I hadn't started doing the resistance training yet. Because I was actually making progress faster when I was just sitting at home eating in a huge deficit, right? And walking.
But you're building muscle now.
Yeah.
But
No, I know
that's
it's
a good
good.
thing. That's a good
It's
thing.
definitely good. So I'm thinking with starting building muscle this early into the journey, having at minimum another 200 plus pounds to go, right?
Mhm.
I'm not sure what a good goal for me is, really. Because my only thing I really care about at the end of the day is getting down to a point where I can have the skin removed.
I think at 6'5", probably around 270 is
Because my weight loss goal is set at like 295 right now.
yeah, and I think at even 290, like you're gonna look good because you have a big frame. And I have a couple of friends.
Mhm.
One buddy's 6'5", and I have two friends that are 6'6".
Yeah.
And we used to train together, and 270 pounds. The guy looks incredible. So I think for you, if that's what you want to get down to, but also too, I wouldn't be upset about the strength training because when you build more muscle, just having more muscle actually itself helps burn more calories. So
Yeah.
that's
Exactly. It's more so like the stress and inflammation that comes with going to the gym, right? Because it was pretty wild, man. For like almost 8 weeks, the scale didn't have a downward trend. It was just kind of up and down, up, down, up, down. But if you look at a photo from me or a photo of me from the beginning of those 8 weeks to the end of those 8 weeks, I look and feel completely different.
Well, I remember making a comment. I commented because I remember you jumped on the scale and you were up like 10 pounds and you're like, what the heck from last week? And I think I made a comment. I said, dude, you're training, you're creating muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat, but don't judge a scale, judge the mirror. That's your judge, the mirror, not the scale. Because then you might get in your mind, oh my God, how did I gain this weight? I've been eating really well. I'm in a deficit. I can't go anymore. I'm starving, but my weight went up. It's because you put on muscle.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think the water retention and the stress and the inflammation for the gym, it is what it is, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm eating in like such a big deficit and I'm doing that training and I don't know what that end goal is in terms of weight because I don't really care about the number on the scale at this point, right? Like once I get under 200 or under 300, right? Like that'll be huge.
Oh yeah.
Like, then I'll be at like the before and after point, right? Like, I started at 660 pounds with a goal of getting under 300 and now I weigh 298 or whatever, right? That'll be big. But at the end of the day, I don't really care what the scale says, bro.
Go by the mirror.
As long as I get down to that point where I can have the skin removed and I can start living what would be considered more of a normal life for the first time, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right.
So what before I know what you eat now. And before we get into that, tell our listeners, what would a typical day be like for you food-wise? Like you get up in the morning, what would you have for breakfast? What would you have in between lunch and dinner? And then tell our listeners what you're doing now because I see what you're doing now, man. It's like my meal. It's like you're eating like really healthy, and you're counting your macros. Like, but
Oh yeah.
but tell us what your a day in the life of Ethan would look like food wise.
Oh yeah, dude. It was pretty wild. I would do
You're probably gonna make me hungry too.
I don't know, man. I would probably eat like I don't know. I've never actually calculated the calories on it, which is a video that I'm going to do. I think that'll be really good.
Yeah.
People will lose their shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
Yeah.
people, dude, just not to go too far off track here, but I made steaks for Labor Day yesterday. People lost their minds that someone like me had like a 3,000 calorie day.
That's nothing.
And I'm like,
I saw your
I
post.
literally said at the end of the video, I'm like, you guys would lose it if you saw what I used to eat.
Yeah,
Like
so
I probably used to
what
eat
does a
10,000.
600-pound guy eat?
So, dude, I would wake up. I would do 5 egg scramble with black. Have you heard like the black bean burgers?
Yeah.
I would do one of those in the pan with a ton of oil. I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't pouring oil in, but I would just like spray the crap out of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Spray the crap out of it with oil, fry that up. I would cut up 3 of the like 𝐕𝐈𝐓 brats. So I would cut up 3 brats, toss them in there, stir fry it a little bit, chop up some onion. So it would be like black bean burger, meat, onion, ton of oil, super fatty, not great foods, just all fried up in the pan. And then when that got cooked to satisfaction, I would pour like 5 eggs on top of it. And then I would just freaking smother it with cheese, dude. Like probably 5 ounces of like cheddar or whatever. So it was, and then I would put it on a tortilla that also had cheese on it. Right. So it would probably it was literally like probably 600 calories, 700 calories from the cheese alone.
Wow.
With a 150 calorie tortilla, you've got the 150 calorie black bean burger, 3 200 calorie brats, 5 eggs, the fat. And that was just breakfast, dude. That's just, I wouldn't make that every day, but that was like, looking back on it, that was like my favorite breakfast or whatever, right? Like that was just like what I would make.
And breakfast would begin at like what time? 7, 8, 9?
Whatever I would. No, I wouldn't wake up till like 11, probably 11 or noon.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was streaming, I would probably make it around 9 or 10 because I was on a schedule.
Okay.
But like most of the time, no way, I'm never up early, bro. Or at least I wasn't. My sleep schedule was so apt, dude. I used to be up till like 4 a.m. every day.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
then when would your next meal be?
It's weird because with the streaming stuff, I would eat like before I went to the office, and then I would eat when I got home. But like in a typical day, I don't know, dude. I would. It's kind of weird. I don't really have like a go-to like lunch or anything, because I would just kind of like that scramble, and then I would just snack a lot, which was really bad, bro.
Did you eat out a lot?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Not a lot, actually. Like it's really interesting, man, because when I was like 10 and my parents were worried about my weight, they switched over to nothing artificial, everything all natural, everything organic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so skewed, bro, because I managed to balloon up to this weight eating like 80% healthy-ish foods, right? Like it wasn't like, obviously I was eating processed foods and I was eating a ton of fat and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was eating all like a lot of organic and all natural ingredients. And I know those terms sometimes don't mean a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like I was just like gorging on like fast food and stuff, right? Like I would do that with friends sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I ordered fast food, I ordered fast food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would go, you guys have Wendy's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do like freaking, they used to have those 99-cent crispy chicken sandwiches, bro.
Yeah.
They're like $3 now because everything's effed.
Yeah. Inflation.
But dude, I used to get like 4 of those, some chicken nuggets, large fry, and a large Frosty, bro. And that would be lunch. if I ate out. Yeah, it was just like nothing.
Wow.
So that's the thing, dude. For years and years and years and years and years, I didn't even care. I didn't even understand or know or care about the concept of calories.
But
Right.
you're also sitting, you're streaming, you're not being active, you're not moving. So
No, exactly.
that's
Yeah.
gonna hurt too. And that's gonna pack on the calorie and pack on the weight too. And especially if you're
So it was even worse. Yeah.
yeah, and then if you're streaming until 4 a.m. and then if you're eating and then going to bed, oh, that's just the worst. That's just gonna put the weight on too. So that's gonna contribute to that weight.
Yeah, I would stream until 10 or 11, and then I would eat, and then I would go to bed.
Wow.
But I would just lay up in bed for hours, right? Like I said, I didn't usually get to sleep till like 4.
Yeah.
So
So now you've got nutritionists and I see you post your meals. Tell us, what are you eating now?
yeah, dude. So I went from that kind of like outrageous. Like I honestly, looking back on it, with the knowledge I have about calories now, I wouldn't be surprised if I was eating like 8 to 10K a day. You know,
Mhm.
so it's pretty wild. Now, most of 2025, I've been around that 2,000 mark.
That's
We
low.
went up to yeah, it is super low for my size.
Mhm.
Because like again, I'm like right now I'm 6'5", 490. So that's a crazy deficit. But the first 5 months of this year, I lost 100 pounds just with intermittent fasting and a 2,000 calorie diet.
Man, that's a whole
Wasn't focus.
that's a whole Backstreet Boy.
Yeah, wasn't
That's-
focusing on macros. Didn't care what the food was. If I was at that 2,000 calorie mark, I was fine, and I would just do that.
Were you
for a
hungry?
while. Oh, dude, I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry. That's the thing. Like I don't care. That's kind of how I view pain too at this point. Like I'm always in pain. I couldn't care less. Like that's just like how I live. It's what I'm used to, you know. And I'm excited to get to the point where I'm not living in that. But like the hunger stuff sucks too, dude. Because like now, I lost the first 150 pounds eating like high sodium, kind of trying to cling on to a bit of the stuff that I used to eat, right?
Mhm.
And this past month we've switched it up a little bit. We've tried to lower the sodium, and now I'm eating like just like these really boring ass meals, dude. Right?
Egg
Like
whites.
it
sweet
works.
potato. Yeah.
You know,
it does.
like I'm literally eating like an entire pack of spinach a day.
Wow.
So I'll eat like 2 giant bowls of spinach, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil,
Yeah.
10 ounces of lean meat, and 200 grams of cooked sweet potato.
Yeah.
Twice a day with a couple protein shakes to hit my protein goal. And that's everything I eat every day now.
Yeah. Yeah. But
That's why yesterday was awesome. The steak, dude. We wouldn't like, you know what I mean?
Listen. You know, I spent the last 6 days in Florida with my son. It's my annual father-son trip that we do every year. We go to Daytona. We do the NASCAR race, the 𝐂𝐎𝐍 400 at Daytona. We go to Orlando. We spend a few days, and you know, my son, he just turned 14, and he was starting. You know, during COVID, he started to put on some weight. And he's a gamer too. He loves to game, but his marks were excellent. It's like you. His marks were excellent, but he loved to game. That's why I said if you were on Twitch, like my son would probably love your show, because he's all about like Minecraft and stuff. And he started to put on a bit of weight. And then I had this conversation. Actually, we were at an Italian restaurant, and the guy came around and he asked us, would you like some dessert? And I said, you know what? Yeah, I feel like having something, you know? And he said, my son's like, no. And I said to my son, I said, it's okay. It's okay every now and then to splurge. It's fine. Your body's not going to absorb it. It takes 72 hours for your body to process something into fat. If you do it consistently, then yes, it's going to do this. It's going to process. But if you do it once in a while, and you should reward yourself because it actually shocks your metabolism. He's like, Dad, I don't want to, because he's got in his mind now, he's so set on working out. Because one day he came into my office, and this was I'd say about a year ago. And he's like, Dad, can you show me some photos of when you used to compete? And I said, sure. So I showed him some of my bodybuilding photos. He's like, Dad, you're so jacked and ripped. Like, how did you get that way? And I said, first of all, you know, this body is made 80% in the kitchen, 20% in the
for
gym,
sure.
20% in the gym. And from that point on, I noticed he changed his eating habits. Instead of eating, my wife, she would make him a big plate of pasta, and he would eat the whole thing of pasta. And then an hour later, come to me, Dad, can I have a Nutella bar? Or can I have this and that? And you don't want to say no, but it's like, son, you just had a massive plate of pasta. Maybe you had 2 plates. I noticed he was cutting back. He didn't want it. He wanted half. He didn't want the Nutella bars anymore. He just wanted, now he's into really working out. And so, you said you had these steaks. What people don't understand is it's okay every now and then to reward yourself and treat yourself. And 3,000 calories is not a lot for a 6'5" guy. It's not.
Yeah.
Right. I'm probably consuming right now, probably between, and I'm 5'10", I'm 224 pounds, and I'm probably doing 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day. So that for you is very little. So, you know what, good for you that, you're able to reward yourself every now and then with something.
Well, that's the thing, man. And I know we haven't talked much about the social media aspect of things,
we're going
but
to.
People are just so stuck, dude. Like,
they're
holy
not educated. They're just
shit.
They're uneducated.
You should see the effing TikTok nutritionists in my comments, man. Like, I understand. Like, at the end of the day, there's literally always something I could have done better. Even if I had the perfect day, there's always something I could have done better. I understand that. But these people, man, like, I literally just got done an entire week of nothing but spinach, sweet potato, lean meat, olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
And I can eat the same thing every day. I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
But I also understand, after the years and years and years of losing weight, gaining it back, losing weight, gaining it back, I understand how my body works. And I know that I can take a day to eat way worse than I have been, nowhere near as bad as I used to. And if I compensate for it correctly and plan accordingly, it's not going to affect my progress. I went up 3.5 pounds on the scale this morning.
And that's probably just sodium. It's water weight.
Over 3,400 calories yesterday, and I drank 2 gallons of water yesterday.
That's a lot of water.
And I only went up 3.5 pounds. I was expecting it to be up 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah.
At my size, So, and honestly, those 3 pounds will be gone and then some tomorrow when I get on the
It's
scale.
water. If they don't get it, it's just water.
Yeah. So
you can't. Your body cannot metabolize fat in that quick a time. It takes 72 hours.
Physically possible for me to have gained any fat with the calorie count that I ate yesterday.
No, not at all.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And people just don't, I just don't think a lot of people have their minds wrapped around that,
Yeah.
So that's the really just, oh my God, bro. People just can't fathom that a guy has to eat. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So let's talk about your social media, because you decided to share your personal life and your journey with the world. And you've built this massive following on social media. I don't follow you on TikTok or Facebook. I follow you on Instagram. But, you talk about your vulnerabilities and your journey. And that, that takes a lot of courage. So kudos to you for that. So my question is, how has the authenticity become your competitive advantage in the content creation space?
Oh, yeah, dude. So the content stuff is wild, man. Back in May, I had lost 100 pounds. Just for a quick backstory on the socials, I had lost 100 pounds in 5 months. Like I said, sitting on my ass, playing video games 50 hours a week, and eating less. That's all I was doing. Intermittent fasting, 2,000 calories a day, 5 months, 624 to 530-ish, right? Almost 100 pounds in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
When I decided that I wanted to start putting some activity into it and doing the fitness portion of it, I was like, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to suffer, because it is suffering at my size, moving around sucks, living at this size sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to put myself through this physically, I might as well upload it, right? Might as well
Mhm.
share it. Because I've done the social media thing in the past. I used to do TikTok with alongside the gaming stuff. That's how I kind of got it to blow up in 2020. So with that being said, I started these pages on Instagram and Facebook in May. May 19 was my first reel.
Mhm.
And I went into it with the thought process of I know I want to end up in the entertainment industry. I'm at home behind a camera, right? So I'm going to share this journey now. It doesn't matter how many views it gets. And then when I post that before and after, it will go so viral that I'll be able to take advantage of that exposure and start a show or do whatever the hell I want, right?
Yep.
Because the before and after of a 6'5", 660-pound man is going to be wild.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that before and after is going to go viral regardless of whether I have 10 people watching or 100 people watching or 100 million, right?
Brother, when you
Like,
get down to your ideal weight, I think that could be actually a book or a movie.
oh, for sure. Easily, I
Easy
think
documentary of
a
yourself.
writing a book for sure and a
Yeah.
documentary, hopefully, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely. I see it.
that's the thing. I'm like, and that's another thing I tell people kind of passively. They're like, you should write a book. And I'm like, yeah, that's my plan for my 30s, right? Because the book will have a lot more impact if I've actually built the life that I've told everyone that I want to build before I write it. You know what I mean?
You could even become a life coach in helping people that were your size and are that used to be
Oh
your
yeah,
size.
I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
I see you doing that. Honestly, I see you doing that, brother.
I understand. So that's something, and this is kind of I've tried to reframe my thoughts because initially I thought of this as kind of a selfish thought, but I honestly think that me sharing my journey in the capacity in the way that I have, and I'll talk more about that in a second, is my contribution towards helping people.
100%. That's this.
When I get done with like the actual core weight loss, skin surgeries, hernias repaired, all my blood work is back to normal, and I'm living a quote unquote physically normal life for the first time as an adult, I plan on veering very much into the entertainment side of things. I will always have that journey as a part of me, but at that point, when I've reached that point where I'm posting before and afters, and I'm like, this is what I used to be, this is who I am now. That's where I want to start veering into what I actually care about, because I couldn't care less about like the weight loss stuff. That's just a necessary part of my life.
It's a means to your end. It's a means to your goal where you want to
Yeah.
get to. You have to go through this, and
I have to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to share that in a brutally open way because I think that helps a lot of people. But when I reach that end of that portion of my journey, I'm happy with that. I know that my story and the way that I'm sharing has already impacted tens of thousands of people. And I think it will continue to do so, right? Even after that before and after, bro. When I write the book or whatever, and I'm at that point where I got to where I told people I was trying to get to, and they see where I was and what I did to get there, that's going to help a lot of people. And at that point, I feel like I will have earned the right to just put a focus somewhere else than the weight loss stuff.
100%, bro. We talked about this. We talked a little bit before we went on air, and I said I was really looking forward to having you on this show, simply because I feel you getting your story out and you're sharing your story, that there is definitely other people that could be 300, 400, 500. I don't know, but there's definitely people are not comfortable where their weight is, and they may feel like it's too late. I've given up and there's no way I can get down. But listening to your story, going from 660 pounds and down to 490 in less than a year, there's a place that you could start, and, you know, helping people. And now you're building your personal brand. This is what I think, if we can just help even one person, if this show, someone listening
Absolutely.
just helps one person, we are a success.
You mentioned the authenticity thing, Ben. Like, I don't see a reason not to be brutally honest about literally everything. Because, and that's the thing too, dude. Like, I don't recommend that people do what I do. 95% of my life is online. And I'm okay with that. I share almost everything. I'm a very open book, right? Like I share my most like inner like, oh, this is what it was on my heart today. This is how I'm feeling. This is what happened. This is what it made me feel like. This is what I ate. This is what happened because of it. Right? Like I share a level of detail and transparency that is very, very rare.
But dude, this
Right.
is why you have such a large following. Like I look how many
Yeah.
followers you have is because of your authenticity and your honesty. I see all these fucking people out there, they're going into jets and like they don't even own a jet. They might be at some show and they're sitting there and like, yeah, work hard, you get to play hard, and they're on their jet or they took a picture beside someone's rolls or something. It's like, give me a freaking break. You're so fucking fake. It's so laughable. Nobody gives a shit about that stuff. What people care about is your authenticity and your honesty. And, you're putting yourself out there. And I am sure, like, I look at some of the comments and dude, I see so many people supporting you. But I'm sure that there are some assholes out there that make some stupid comment because some people are just fucking mean, man. They're just mean. But how do you deal with that?
Well, I don't care. Who cares?
Good. You shouldn't care.
If you don't love or respect someone, why would you take heed to what they have to say?
Yeah.
And then that's the other thing too, man. Like you have to be able to apply that mindset to more than just comments, right? Because someone who's in a position of power could have something negative to say about you. But again, the same thing applies, regardless of whether they're in a position of power or whether they're just another random moron on the internet. If they're saying something negative or they're talking shit or whatever, and you don't have any love or respect for that person, why would you let that affect your life?
100%. And that's good for you.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? But I think anyone that's going to go on and make a stupid comment or a degrading comment of someone that's actually trying to do better, man, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, what I think is stupid is that people expect perfection out of a 500-pound guy. That's what I think is stupid.
Yes.
Oh, you eat 3,000 calories. You're such a fat ass. Yeah, I am a fat ass.
And half of these nutritionists, they should not be preaching about nutrition because I guarantee you they probably show headshots up because the rest of the body looks like shit.
Dude, I weighed 660 pounds. You don't think I want to? You don't even know what I wanted to eat today. What I wanted to eat today is way different than what I ate.
Like a whole tomahawk.
Like, give me a break, man. Like that's the thing, dude. Like I will be super transparent. I'll make a video and be like, hey, I ate a lot of calories today.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is going to happen, and this is how I plan on attacking it. And then people will make comments like, oh, he's never going to get anywhere doing this. No wonder he hasn't lost more weight or whatever. What the fuck? Pardon my French. I haven't sweared since I streamed. What the hell do you expect from a guy who got up to 660 pounds?
Yeah.
The amount of discipline that I've been able to muster this year is crazy.
It's motivating.
Because I never had it.
Yeah.
Like I told you, man, I literally lost and gained back 100 pounds 3 times between 2021 and 2024.
Yep.
Because every single time something bad happened in my life, I wasn't in a position mentally, and I didn't have the discipline to stop it from allowing myself to backslide.
Yeah. But the other thing that people don't understand too is, listen, I came from a world of bodybuilding. I competed from 23 to 32. And I'll tell you, man, I would set my diet out 16 weeks and I was an asshole. You get me in like 8 weeks from a show. You don't want to be around me because, man, I'll rip your head off. I'm so hungry. But the one thing that my coach, I would have a coach, and a couple of my coaches, they were IFBB pro bodybuilders. They're like, you need to have a cheat meal. You have to trigger and reset your metabolism because your metabolism will plateau. And you get to that point where you just can't lose anymore. So you have to shock it. And the way to shock it is sometimes I would have one day they say, you have a whole day of a cheat meal or a cheat day.
Yeah, like a 6,000 calorie day.
Like crazy. Like dude, you talk Wendy's, I would go to Wendy's and I have like 2 big burgers and fries, and then I'd have the Frosty, and then later I'd go to the dessert place and I have a big piece of cheesecake. I would start in the morning with pancakes, or depending on where my weight was, he goes, you can't have a day. You're allowed one meal one
Mhm.
cheat meal. You cannot have a day because we didn't get your weight down to where it was. But I always found out, here's the interesting about that. I always found if I had a cheat day, the very next day, I was actually tighter and leaner. Like I was full. My body was full because I've been depleting so much. So these TikTokers and fuck these nutritionist TikTokers, they're stupid because I don't think they really completely understand like the body and how
Well,
metabolism works.
a lot of people on the internet
Everyone's a
will
fucking
do this
guru
really
on TikTok.
nasty. They'll do this really nasty manipulation tactic where if I call out, and I don't call out people anymore because I don't give a crap. But
for you.
if I call out someone for a nasty comment, people will then try to turn it around and go, "Oh, we were only trying to help." My ass.
Yeah.
I understand some of the comments are trying to help, but the majority of the negative is not coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of hatred, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is.
Yep.
And then if you call them out on it, they'll try to twist it into like, "Oh, we were just trying to help." And again, I know some of the comments are legitimately concerned and they are trying to help, but that's not the majority.
Yeah.
At least in terms of the negative stuff. And thankfully, since being in the fitness and weight loss space on social media, a lot of it has been positive. Because when I did gaming content, man, 60 to 70% of the comments were all negative.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's probably part of why I blew up was just from the fat comments.
Oh, okay.
It's really interesting. I think that's like unironically why I blew up on TikTok in the first place was just because of the sheer amount of fat comments on my posts.
Wow.
And I don't care. Who cares, bro? I was making a living sitting on my ass playing video games. I was having a good time. I was making people laugh. I was laughing. I was playing. I was having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just think that the contrast between the gaming space and the fitness space is really, really interesting.
So you were making good income streaming.
Mhm.
You lost that income because you spent time in the hospital. Then you went to call it a state of depression and you tried to get bumped, but you were angry.
Oh yeah,
And-
I was a very bitter person.
Yep. But now let's talk about your income today because you are now a social media, you're a content creator. You're basically creating daily content on all the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. And that's like essentially running like 4 or 5 businesses simultaneously. So walk us through the economics, which platforms you feel are most profitable for you and what's your revenue model like?
That's pretty funny. I had nearly maybe over $250 million of views in the first 3 months of doing this, and I didn't make a
Wow.
penny off of it.
Wow.
Wasn't monetized because YouTube is not getting barely any views compared to other platforms because I was an idiot and I used my old YouTube channel instead of making a new one. And Facebook and Instagram and TikTok just didn't make money. Like the views were there, but there was no $ next to it, right?
Right.
So up until literally this past Friday, I got monetized on Facebook.
Congrats.
So now I will start making passive income just from the views and interactions and stuff on there. But I'm very not I've been very, very bad at monetizing. But there's some thought that goes into that, right? Like I have turned down some big money and I don't respond to most business inquiries. Like I'm very, 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 very picky about who I work with.
And you
The
should
only
be, yeah.
people I've worked with since May is the Jocko team, who are literally some of the most important people in my life at this point. And that relationship is really good. So I have them as a main partner. And then I accepted a small contract with a mobile app called Chronometer, which is what I use to track all my macros and stuff. So this entire time, up until literally this week, which the timing on that is pretty wild considering that this show is happening when it is.
Yeah.
But up until this week, all my entire income is just from those contracts. And there was no actual monetization or money being earned from like the views and interactions themselves.
And what about YouTube? Have you since changed and created a new YouTube channel where you
I'm
can get
planning
one?
on it. I'm planning on
Okay.
it. So I'm at the point now. I'm about to re-sign on with 𝐂𝐐𝐲, and I should be at the point where I can hopefully start to delegate some stuff, because I have a pretty full plate when it comes to, like, because I post a lot, right? Like I
Yeah.
share my life. So like every day it's not only a matter of like living and trying to work towards my goals with like the fitness and the nutrition and stuff, but it's also a matter of documenting it thoroughly. Right. So that adds like a whole nother layer. Like I'm on my phone like 10 hours a day, bro. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's my job.
What's 𝐂𝐶𝐲? What is 𝐂𝐶𝐲? I've never heard of 𝐂𝐶𝐲.
So 𝐂𝐶𝐲 is so 𝐂𝐶𝐲 is an ex-Navy SEAL commander who is actually, he wrote a book on leadership, and he wrote a book called Extreme Ownership. And so he started a company called 𝐂𝐶𝐲 Fuel that is like protein supplements, like electrolytes, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So when I started my page, I saw that it was gaining momentum, and I threw a Hail Mary, man. I literally made a video, and I was like, hey, listen, I need y'all to tag 𝐂𝐶𝐲 Fuel. I want to work with them. I've been using their products for 4 years to try to lose weight, right? Like, because at this point, I have been drinking their protein shakes since like 2020. Because when you go into a store and you see all like the protein products, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
got
And there's
like
there's lots of them.
there's a lot of them, but the
Yeah.
only one on the shelf that doesn't have like a bunch of artificial BS in it is 𝐂𝐶𝐲 Fuel.
Okay.
So that's the one that I was getting. So I sent them a DM, and I was like, listen, I know this is a long shot, but if you guys work with me, you will make money. That's all I said.
Good for you.
And I told them I've been using my product for a long time. So I sent that DM when I was at 17,000 followers. I made a video using one of their products when I was at 40,000. They responded to it. And then by the time I signed with them, I was at like 60,000. And now here we are 3 months later at like nearly 400,000. It's crazy.
Amazing. Amazing.
So the 𝐂𝐶𝐲 team, though, man, when I got onto the call with them, I was honestly expecting like, hey, Ethan, we're going to send you some protein. You can have a discount code for your followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That's the relationship I was anticipating. But I got on that call, and they were like, Ethan, we are going to pay you, and we legitimately care about you staying on the path and your journey. Like, I got onto the call with these guys, man, and they were more invested in me than I was into them.
That's
so
awesome.
and they actually care about like my health and like wellness, and like their whole thing. Like, they have the values that 𝐂𝐶𝐲's team shares, man. Like, even on their cans, they have like discipline equals freedom. Like, it's all about self-discipline, hard work, and having the clean fuel to be able to do it.
Yeah.
That's like the whole shtick. So I went into it because I liked the product. And then when I got out of that meeting, I was like, wow, this is like the values that they hold. And the conversation that I just had was unlike anything I'd ever experienced in my life, man. So I am incredibly dedicated and loyal to them at this point. And they are my main partner or whatever. They're by far the biggest contract I have right now. I only have 2 contracts, right? But they're like my main, that relationship and that code that I have to share with people, that is like my main quote unquote source of income right now. We'll see how Facebook monetization plays out. I'm very curious about that too.
You also said you turned down some other opportunities that were going to, pay you. What was the reasoning for turning it down? Which is something that just didn't align with your values?
Oh yeah, dude. Have you seen these freaking apps that have you tracking calories with AI?
No, I haven't seen them. No.
They have these apps, dude. Complete bullshit. Where take a photo of your plate and AI will calculate it for you.
Okay.
No effing way, bro. I don't care if Elon Musk himself programs the AI. You will not tell me that the technology that we have in our cameras is capable. I don't give a shit who's behind it. There is no effing way that you can take the information from a photo from a smartphone and tell how many calories are on a plate.
Because it's all by weight too.
It's bullshit. I don't care if it can. I don't care if it can even estimate the weight. You don't know what it was fried in.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in it.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're guessing. Dude, it's literally calculated guessing. And dude, these photo tracking apps, dude, they got money. Like easy, like 10 to 20K contracts, like it's nothing because they're a mobile app. They've got a shitload of money. So that's just one example, but I think there's been some like products, some food products, some apps, there's a lot of different stuff in this space, but at the end of the day, it's hard because I'm not looking for any other affiliate relationships. Like I am an ambassador for Jocko Fuel, unofficial title, right? Like I am a brand ambassador. That's basically what I do. Like I rep their brand. I tell people my code and I talk about the product because it's a product that I believe in and it's a product that I use. But I don't want these relationships. All these companies want, oh, we'll set you up with a discount code and you can sell our product. I don't want that.
Well, then you just become like a sellout.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. I think, and even with this Facebook monetization thing, man, I was talking to my friend Kaylee and my best friend Danny. I'm like, listen, I'm turning down so much money right now. But at the end of the day, I think that me using the amount of discernment and the level of restraint that I have in working with these sponsors this past few months is not only going to be better for the health of my channel, but I think it also says a lot about my character.
100%. And people are going to see that you've turned down a lot of opportunities because it needs
I have unironically turned down tens of thousands of dollars, and I am in a position where up until this year, I was making about $400 a month.
Yeah. But it's got to align. And that speaks a lot to your moral character, that it needs to align with your values.
Absolutely.
So that's, it's amazing to see how, prioritizing your physical transformation is actually impacting other areas of your life with your earning potential. And I see for you at some point, some publishing company is going to say, hey, listen, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. We want to document this. We want this in a book and maybe, turn this into a documentary. So it's going to help other people. What would you say? There's a lot of people that might think that, it's too costly to eat healthy or it's too costly to go to a gym. I mean, you've been at rock bottom financially. You've been at rock bottom health-wise. What would your response be to that mindset?
Nah, that's BS. That's BS. I lost 100 pounds sitting on my ass and limiting my calorie intake.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, there's a difference between losing weight and getting fit too, right? Because if you want to build muscle, you have to eat a shitload of protein.
Yep. Right.
But if you want to lose weight, all you have to do is eat in a deficit. And I did the intermittent fasting because it's basically free weight loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I fast 20 hours a day.
That's a lot.
Like it's nothing. Yeah. So I eat within a 4-hour window every day and I fast 20 hours a day and that's it. And so I'm getting an extra 8 hours a day where my body's using fat for fuel.
And you're going into, you don't start to go into autophagy, but you do go into a ketosis.
Yeah. Today I'll go into autophagy because I'm actually fasting today.
Yeah.
So,
once every quarter, I'll do a 90 to 100 hour fast once a quarter because
the longest I've ever done is like 62.
But then it's good. It's actually really good for you because your body goes into this autophagy state where it actually gets rid of all your bad cells.
Well, I would never personally go past 72 because I know once you reach, depending on the person, in between that 48 and 72 hour mark, your body starts to burn through muscle too.
Yeah.
So you start burning more than just fat, right? And then it starts to become not as worth it. You know what I mean? Like the autophagy is obviously still happening, but yeah, dude, like it's not complicated to lose weight. It's not easy.
It's a mindset. You just got to want to.
It's not easy, but it's not complicated. It's not complicated. All you have to do is eat in a deficit. The bigger the deficit, the more fat you'll lose faster, right?
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's literally it. If you want to double the number that you're going down, walk 8,000 steps a day, right? If you like literally anyone who's in a position where they have a lot of weight to lose, if you walk 8,000 steps a day and eat at least at least 1,000 calories under your maintenance every day, you'll drop like probably a few pounds a week at least.
So are you
Depending on how-
eating those 20 say 2500 to 3,000 calories? Are you eating that just in a 4-hour window?
Oh yeah, every day.
Okay.
I'll eat 2 meals a day. The gym has complicated things because I used to fast 20 hours a day. Now on gym days, I'll be lucky like 17, 16 to 18, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I do the intermittent fasting every day, but I try to eat my second meal after the gym, but we don't go until the evening. So it kind of ruins my period for a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like that's the crazy thing. Like, yes, number one, a gym membership. Come on. The groceries are way more expensive than a gym membership, right?
Yeah.
But the groceries are also way more important. Like you said, 80% plus of your weight loss should be dietary.
Yep.
Like building muscle's good because then you'll be stronger and you'll burn more calories, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, losing weight isn't expensive. Being fit becomes a lot more expensive because of the protein stuff.
Sure. How many days a week are you going to the gym now?
3 right now.
3 days?
I was trying to do 4, but it was like a bit much. I have a back injury right now that's kind of put a tamper on things.
Mm-hmm.
So
are you doing any type of cardio? Do you like walk on a treadmill or just go outside and for a walk?
I was walking a lot and I want to get back to it, but with the back thing right now, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like this last week, actually, I dropped another 5-6 pounds this past week, but like it was like the least active week I've had in a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
With the back injury, I barely walked. Like I went from like my 8,000+ steps a day to like not walking much at all, just trying to rest my back. And then I only went to the gym twice last week. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to get back to that point where I'm getting in at least 8,000 a day, ideally 10, you know, and then keeping the nutrition exactly where it's at. Because at the end of the day, it's just more free weight loss, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. Fasting, walking, whatever. There's layers to this shit, bro. Because you will lose weight if you eat in a deficit. That's just how it works. Right.
Well, yeah, it's like financials. If you live within your means, you will save money. If you eat within your means, and listen, if your body size says, okay, you should. If you're gaining weight and if you look at your meals and you're eating 5,000 calories a day, if you eat less within the means and drop it down to 4,000, you're absolutely right. You said drop it 1,000. You're going to lose weight.
Oh yeah,
eventually.
if you're like me. If you're okay, I will add another stipulation to that statement, right? Because I said, you should be eating at least 1,000 calories less than your maintenance if you're a big person who needs to lose weight. But you should never be eating over 3,000. I don't think anyone should. Even if you're 650 pounds, I don't think you should be eating over 3,000. I don't think you need it. And listen, I'm not an expert.
Yep.
So I don't give a shit. All the nutritionists are going to be like, you shouldn't be telling a 700-pound person to eat 3,000 calories. I don't care. That's what I did. I weighed 624 pounds. I eat 2,000 calories a day. I lost 100 pounds in 5 months. So don't sit there and tell me that a 600 or 700-pound person couldn't live off 3,000 calories a day because you're full of shit.
Yeah.
So I think that if you're a big person who needs to lose weight, calculate your maintenance. Be honest with yourself about your activity level. Calculate your maintenance calories. Drop those by 1,000. Eat that every day, but do not eat above 3. You don't need it.
What's been the most valuable lesson that you've learned about taking ownership of your past instead of being a victim of it?
I don't know, dude. That's hard because I've never tried to be the victim. People will see me talking about what I went through and sharing my honest feelings about everything, and they'll try to like put me in that frame of like, he's a victim, blah blah blah. But I own that shit. I was a fat ass my whole life. I didn't take care of myself for a decade. I literally didn't take care of myself because I didn't care about myself and I didn't think I was worthy of being taken care of. That's the reality of the situation. This isn't just a weight loss journey for me. This is dealing with the repercussions of having treated my body like shit because I didn't care about it for over a freaking decade.
Mm-hmm.
So my teeth are fucked up. I'm super, super fat. I'm still dealing with so many issues from my past, but I don't know what people expect of me, man. It happened. I own what I did to myself, and I'm literally just trying to correct it.
But I think you're getting better every day, no?
I'm trying, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to the lowest weight now that I've been probably since around high school, like 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't know the last time I was under 500, because when I weighed in on January 2020, when I actually decided that I wanted to stay alive, I was 660.
That's a lot.
So that, you know, like, that's the most frustrating part about that whole, I hate, and this isn't towards you, I hate the whole victim mindset thing. Because me talking about all the shit that I've been through and the problems that I have doesn't make me a victim. I'm not trying to be a victim. I'm just trying to share with y'all what I'm feeling. That's one of my biggest frustrations sharing this journey, man. Because I'll make one video where I pour my heart out to people, and people will go, "Oh, look at this guy trying to be the victim." That pisses me off, dude. More than anything.
Well,
I'm sorry to go off on a little tangent.
No, that's just them being fucking uneducated. Because if anybody
really makes me mad.
Well, if anybody actually listens and looks at your other stuff, they're gonna say, "Listen, it's not being a victim. The guy's taking ownership, and he's trying to change his life, and he's trying to encourage other people to say, hey, listen, if I can do it, you can do it.' I mean, at 660 pounds, man, that's a lot of weight."
Yeah, if me as a 500-pound guy who absolutely hates dieting, hates moving around, if I can do this shit, there's probably no reason that you can't. That's basically how I frame my content, right?
Yep.
Like, I do 10,000 steps, and then at the end of it, when I'm like covered in sweat and I feel like shit, I'm like, listen, if I can do this at my size, imagine what y'all can do. And then I turn the camera off. You know?
Yep. So for someone listening right now who feels like they're too far gone and they're too old, they're too sick, they're too broke, they're too fat, they're too scared, what is your advice? What's the very first step that they should take today?
The biggest thing for anyone that has a major change that they need to make in their life is actually making the decision to change without only having convinced themselves that they've made the decision. Because for years, like I told you, I don't care if I sound like a broken record. I lost 100 pounds and gained it back 3 times between 2021 and 2024 because I had convinced myself that I had made the decision to change, but didn't have the mental strength or the discipline to have actually flipped that switch and actually acted on that decision. Because there's a big difference between making the decision to change and having that switch flip than convincing yourself that you want to do it. So
that's huge.
You just gotta figure out how to flip that switch.
Yep. Man, this has been awesome. This has been really awesome. I want you to share with my listeners how they can follow you, because, guys, you need to follow this guy because his journey is exciting to watch. I look forward to his postings every day. And now you're going to do, instead of once a week weigh-ins, you're going to do a weigh-in every day.
Every day for the month of September, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Tell our listeners where they can find you, please.
Yeah, guys. So my name's Ethan Benard. Ethan, Benard. Most people hear Bernard. It's really bad, bro. My name is so bad for like search engine and stuff.
Benard.
Because yeah, dude, apparently Bernard is English and Benard is French.
Okay.
Little fun fact. So it's Ethan Benard on most socials. And then I think some of them have like live or something tacked onto it because someone has my username. Okay. But I upload every single day, multiple times a day, to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and X.
Awesome.
So
this has been awesome. I'm so glad that you joined the show today to share your story. I really hope that it helps at least one person who might be feeling that they're too far gone and might be too scared and they just don't know where to start, because you are a motivation for so many people. And man, I love what you're doing. And I really love watching your journey to see how far you can go. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you hit that under 300 pounds. So here's the deal. When you get to that under 300 pounds, we're going to have you back on the show.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to share with everyone that you lost like a whole person. You've already lost a whole person.
Yeah, I've already. Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, I've lost 170 pounds already. So
That's yeah. So that's
got
amazing.
a couple hundred more to go.
And then, you know what? I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to reach it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, John. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you so much. Guys, if you like this show, please share it, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's all for today. Take care of your wealth and your health.